Let's go live. Hi friends. Let me just adjust this here. How's everybody doing today? This is Lindsay for So Fontsy. And yes, we are live. Oh, so happy April, you guys. I mean, it's already here, and you know what that means. There's a new fresh and lively bundle, the April SVG design and fonts bundle, which is just blooming with crafty possibilities. So thanks spring, and that's exactly what we're doing today. We're doing this fun spring inspired project. So in the April bundle, among lots of other fonts and designs and stickers, there is a vertical porch sign bundle. So you know those porch signs that are like, you know, tall and skinny, which I've made before, and you know, those are a lot of fun. But you know how like we're crafty and we're always kind of thinking about how can we use things in different ways. So I had this like light bulb go off in my head last night, and I have these garden stakes that I thought would be perfect to use for the vertical with a vertical porch sign. So you know, since they're tall and skinny like this, it's the perfect dimensions. I got these like a year ago at Target, so I don't know if they're still like in that dollar spot, but I linked to some that you can find on Amazon. They're horizontal, so you know, you just have to find different designs or, you know, modify it. But we're gonna be doing that. I thought it was just so cute and so fun. I love being able to, you know, take a design, or you know, take something and like use it in new and unexpected ways. So I hope that you guys can hear me. If you're out there, go ahead and say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. We're gonna go ahead and get started. So along with the garden stakes, I'm gonna be sharing some tips on how to cut and weed really small designs, because this design, you know, was made like with the intention of it going on like a big vertical porch sign, you know, which are like 4 or 5 feet tall. So when you scale down a design that small, you know, you may have a little bit more difficulty getting it to work. So I'm going to share some things that I did, and hopefully will help you too when you are you know, cutting very, very tiny designs, because everything tiny is cute, right? Okay, hi Lisa. Hello from Texas. Well, hello. Okay, so I'm going to actually take you over to Silhouette Studio, which is my software of choice. However, all the designs you can use with, you know, Cricut Design Space, you can use with Brother Canvas Workspace, you know, Adobe Illustrator. You know, you can find, you can work with your favorite design program. So let me go ahead and switch the camera view here. So give me just a second. All right, here we go. So the spring porch bundle that's in the April bundle is got these really, really cute like spring inspired designs. There's several. And so the ones that say like hello spring and welcome spring, I thought you know, go, you know, pretty well for like a garden stake. But in the sorry, my cat wants out now. I closed the door, so she'll just have to wait for a second. So so this, I ended up choosing this design because there's, you know, several that look like this, and I want to show you why I avoided a design like this. There's like this little tiny line inside the letters. You've got some curly cues here. So it was I thought it was pretty intricate, and to scale it down to, you know, less than 4 inches tall, an intricate design is not going to be ideal. But there are things that you can do. So see, these letters are nice and thick and big, so I thought this design would work a little bit better. But it did have these little you know, flower stars in here, which is going to be pretty tiny. So what you can do is you can ungroup the design, and then, sorry, I'm gonna let my cat out. Do anyone else out there have little crafty helpers who like to be with you while you're you know, doing your projects? Am I the only one? Okay, so anyway, these little star designs here, I decided that I was going to simplify them to make them just the outline. So you can release this compound path here, and you can see there's still the outlines of the shapes. So if you just click this welds button, welds it all together. And so now this is, you know, a shape that's, you know, less intricate than that. This really couldn't like simplify that. So another thing you can do is add weeding boxes. So if you have Silhouette Studio Business Edition, then there is a feature called automatic weed settings, weed lines. And if you go ahead, and I like to use the recursive weed lines, and it just puts a box around there, which is not what we want. And it was not what we were doing earlier. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, let's maybe reduce the padding. Anyway, I cut several designs at once. Here, this is a better example. Oops. So what weeding lines do is it basically automatically adds these boxes around all the different elements so that you can weed these out individually. So these blue lines are going to be additional cut lines so that you can basically, you know, weed this little section at, you know, excess final around that little dot. So those are automatic weed lines or weeding boxes in Business Edition. If you don't have Business Edition, you can still add your own weeding boxes by just using the rectangle tool. And you know, this is a tool that's like in pretty much every design software, but you just, you know, draw your own boxes around the design elements. You just want to make sure that they don't actually overlap any of them. But then it's essentially the exact same thing. And you can just isolate those smaller pieces so that it's just going to be, you definitely have a lot more control when you use weeding boxes. And it helps a lot. So now I have actually gone ahead and already cut out all the little pieces. So I'm just going to transfer us down. Here, we'll go back to the webcam and we'll go to my workspace. Oh, I'm right here. Hi. All right, so let's go ahead and just turn this around here. And yes, I used my Cameo, but again, you can use your Cricut, your Scan and Cut, all those fun little tools. Let's hide all these cords. Pay no attention to these cords. My microphone though. All right, there we go. That's pretty good. Okay, so I did already cut out the different colors, and since I am doing different colors, I decided to add registration marks so that I can line up these different layers when I put the decal together. So another tip that I like to use when weeding is a really sharp point. So I use like a hand sewing needle to get that really, really you know, sharp point for getting into those really, really small spaces. So that really works well. And then, oh, also, I cut out one of these pieces, and it just was a little more difficult to weed than I thought it should. So I changed my blade. You know, if you're gonna do something super intricate, the newer the blade, the better result. So that really helped a lot. And then just working slowly and carefully, because, you know, these are actually, you know, pretty small and pretty intricate. You can see here is where I did that that welding trick to close up this, but I actually forgot to do it on this one, and it actually turned out okay. So, and this is the one I used with the new blade. So, you know, don't discount what you can do. And there's my fingernail there for size comparison. So it actually did pretty good. These machines are definitely very sophisticated. We can do these really cool things with them. So I am just now taking out my transfer tape, and we're going to apply this to this layer first. And since the different colors are actually not one on top of another, it's like this one, where it's different colors of vinyl, but nothing's actually sitting on top of each other. It doesn't really matter which color you start with first. So, you know, you can just pick one. And if your vinyl pieces are curling up like that and you're having trouble getting them to lay flat, then you can put them on a sticky mat. Not too sticky though. So that sweet spot right in between it being brand new and too old. And this one is just about on its last legs, but it still has a good amount of stick to it. So I'm going to keep her around for a little bit longer. Okay. I also, when I do these registration marks and lining things up, I also like to use parchment paper, because the vinyl and the transfer tape is not going to stick to it. So I can lay this down on here. I can actually take the vinyl off and I could put it onto this piece of parchment and it's not going to stick. So I can actually, let's take this mat back out so I can lay this down. And then let's go ahead and line these up. So I'm just going to line up these registration boxes and just put them right on top of one another. Sorry if my big old head's in the way. Give me just a second. I line this up. Okay, that looks pretty good. Burnish, burnish, burnish. And the supplies that I'm using, I have linked in the description, as well as the link to the April bundle. So that is where you'll find these designs. These are actually meant for vertical porch signs, but if you've got something with the same dimensions, like these little garden stakes, then you can use them for just about anything you want. All right, so we line that up. Perfect. Look at that. Everything's all lined up just like that. And I'm using Oracal 651 permanent adhesive vinyl. Okay. All right, so now we want to transfer this onto our garden stake. And it's always a good idea to wipe off the surface first. So I'm just going to use a little bit of isopropyl alcohol. This will remove any dust or dirt, fingerprints, oils that might interfere with the vinyl sticking. Okay. And it's going to dry really fast, which is what we want. Okay. And then for this one, I actually just eyeballed it and put it straight down. But if you want to be a little bit more precise, you can use the hinge method. And actually, this will allow me to cut off the registration marks because you probably don't want those on your project. So you either would need to peel back the vinyl and, peel back the transfer tape and take those off. Or since we're doing the hinge method of transferring this vinyl, I'm just going to cut them off because I'm cutting right around the design. So through the transfer tape and through the vinyl backing that it's still attached to. Because this will allow me then to line it up. Oh, that's cute. Line it up on here. I can get it positioned exactly where I want it. I could measure this if I wanted to. But now I'm gonna find some washi tape or some like blue, low tack painter's tape, and put a strip right. This, I don't know if this is gonna be sticky enough. Might be okay. But you put a line of it. Yeah, I don't think this is sticky enough. I'll use this blue painter's tape. It's like really wide, so I'll just rip it in half. There we go. And then I'll put a strip of it across the middle of it so it'll stick to the surface. And yeah, that looks good. And so now what I can do is I essentially have like this hinge here, so I can peel back the transfer tape on this side. Oh, and you know what, if you're having trouble getting the transfer tape to pick up the vinyl, sometimes if you first oh man, I should have done this before I cut it. It would have been a little bit easier. If you peel the backing off of the transfer tape instead of the transfer tape off the backing, it can help a little bit better, but not if you've already trimmed it first. It's a little more delicate. Ay, ay, ay. There we go. Yeah, so see how I flipped it over? There we go. And then you kind of just like roll the backing back onto itself. All these little tiny dots. And I don't want to miss a dot. then we have this scripty font at the top here. So yes, just work slowly and being kind to yourself during the process. This is when you're working with such small designs, there's going to be little hiccups and stuff, so just work through it as best you can. Oh, sorry, my phone's going off. I will put that on mute. I just want to get this little part to stay down. But you might even want to take out a tool like an X-Acto knife. Oh, it actually came off. Well, then in that case, that'll actually be easier. I can just pick it up here, like a sticker. Like that. And then I'll just apply it that way. Actually, you know what? I'll put on this first and then I'll put this on second. So let's actually put this back on the backing. So there's always little, hiccups like this, but it ends up being okay. So I am actually going to then put this on a piece of parchment paper. So I can do essentially the same thing. Instead of putting it back on the vinyl backing, I'll just put it on this backing, on parchment paper, which will act like the backing. And put another piece of tape across the middle. Just like that. So it's centered. I like where it is. And I'm ready to commit. Okay. Here we go. So then I will peel the transfer tape off. And since we've already peeled the transfer tape off of the backing, then it's going to stick so much better than before. And then you'll cut this part here, and this little hinge in the center is like holding it all down. And you'll get your scraper and scrape across that way. And so then now the transfer tape is holding this side down, so you can remove your hinge carefully. And then this side, the transfer tape will hold this side down so you can peel up the other side and do the same thing. Peel back the backing, or in this case, parchment paper. There's a few that don't want to stick, but I can come back for those. And then lay it back down. Okay, let's burnish that really well. And a couple of little pieces stuck to the parchment paper, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and transfer them with my X-Acto knife. And then we still have the double L that we can put on too. So actually, if you wanted to, you could use transfer tape. I don't always do small designs, but when I do, it takes me forever. No, I'm just kidding. But I do really enjoy little tiny projects like this because it's really cute. I think I would put this in like a potted plant. That would just look adorable. All right, see, now you can't even tell that the L came off that. We'll do the same thing with these little dots. There we go. And we'll put I think they went right here. There we go. Oh, cute. Look at that. Hello, spring. There, I got kind of the glare out of there. But look, it's so tiny. The design itself is only 3 and I think I sized it to 3 3/4 of an inch, and then wide, like how wide it is. I mean, it looks like it's an inch wide. So don't be too afraid of tiny little cuts because you can make some pretty cute stuff with them. So I hope some of these tips will help you with your next tiny little project. And this is the one I did earlier. This is like my tester one. I think I like this one better. Very, very cute. So I am going to turn the camera back around. Oh, Vicky's here. Hi, Vicky from Georgia. Thank you. I'm so glad you're here. Awesome. Okay, so I'm actually done. That's all I had for today. Oops. I'm going to flip the camera around so I can say goodbye. And give you a reminder that today's the first day you can get your hands on the April bundle, which includes these designs, which were normally, or they were intended for like vertical porch signs, but I mean, this is your world, people. You can do whatever you want. And so I put mine on these garden stakes. I got these garden stakes like a year ago at Target. So, don't know if they're still there, but I linked to some. They're actually horizontal. So that might, maybe give you more options to do some little garden labels for your plants. If you're planting anything, so you don't forget, and it'll look really cute and decorative. So that's all I had. Links to what I've used are in the description of the video. And then, of course, if you have questions, then please go ahead and let us know. And go ahead and check out that April bundle. You will have all month to take a look at it, but it is actually an extra 15% off. So I will post the code to that in the description as well. You have until let me see. I should have had this already, but I didn't. Oops. Okay, just a second here. I'll pull up the code. Okay, well, you know what? I'll post it in the description of the video, so you'll get it that way. All right. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.